Okay, welcome again. This is Peter from Go Peter Hosting, and we've already learned how to open up a hosting account. We've seen how to install WordPress. So let's get into building our first website. So open a browser and then type in your your website name. In this case, we're using hello wordpress.co.za/wp-admin. Press enter. And because we've already logged into the site, we'll be logged in automatically now. All right, a few things that you need to know about WordPress. We've got WordPress.org. This is the guys, they've developed WordPress. And if you download WordPress from WordPress.org, you get the full WordPress function for free. But they've also got what they call WordPress.com. And on WordPress.com, you can actually have a free website. But a lot of the features are not free. And for certain functions, you need to pay $5 and $3 and $8 and so forth. But what we've done is with the hosting packages, we've installed the free content management system called WordPress, and that's what we've got here. So let's just quickly run through the dashboard to see what the different functions are all about. Right at the top, you've got a link to your website. It's always good practice. Right-click, open in a new tab, because you'll be working on the one side and then refresh this page the whole time to see the different changes that you've made. Now, by default, this bar at the top, I want to take this bar out because I don't get a clear reflection of what my site looks like with this black bar. So the way to take it off is just log in to edit your profile, and that's your admin profile. You'll see you in the WordPress dashboard now under users. So just scroll down and there's a toolbar button that you need to untick that and update your profile. Right, go back there again, just click on visit site. So there's a website, and that bar at the top is now gone. And this is the WordPress theme, the 2020 theme that it comes out with. So we're going to change that. For this exercise, we are going to quickly look at appearance and themes. We'll cover these on just now. We're going to start with themes. So a theme is basically the look and the feel of your website, and there are thousands of themes that you can choose from. By default, this is what the WordPress installation comes with, and it's recommended that you don't delete these. Just leave them there so that if something does go wrong with your theme, it can fall back onto one of these themes. So let's go and add new. Alright, there you will find this featured, popular, latest, favorite, and there are thousands of themes that you can choose from. A few things you need to know about these themes. The people that develop these themes are mostly third-party developers, and what they do is they develop a theme and with limited functions, so that you can buy the pro version to get all the different functions. And just because it seems like a full website when you scroll down here, that's not necessarily what you are going to install. If you want to have all the images, etc., then generally that would come with a paid version of the theme. What we're going to do is we're going to look for a theme called Futurio. Futurio, and this is one of the themes that we've already bought, and this comes with your developers hosting package with us. So like any other theme, you can simply click on install. And then activate the theme. Now if you look at it, it looks like a complete website that you've installed, but let's go look at what does it look like now that you've installed the theme. So let's go refresh this page, and basically that's all that happens. So you haven't really installed an entire website, it's just the functions of the theme that you've installed. But it comes up with a notice and it says get started with Futurio. So let's click on this. And I'm choosing Futurio because it has this additional function that we're busy installing now that will actually allow you to install an entire website. We'll show you just now how to do that. So simply activate this, and what it's doing now is actually installing a plugin. We'll get to plugins just now. The plugin that we just installed now offers you a selection of complete websites that you can choose from, and you'll see some of them are pro websites. This we will have to activate. Once you've installed this, one of our technical staff will log into your website and we will enter the codes for the pro version. For now, we're simply just going to install one of the free versions to show you how you can install an entire website. So let's pick a theme. I don't think there's a actual WooCommerce theme. So there's an entire e-commerce site that you can install. So let's click on that and we'll install an entire WooCommerce site. Alright, so the Futurio extras are already installed, so it's looking for Elementor and WooCommerce. So we can say install Elementor for us. Elementor is a page builder. We'll show you now what that is. So we'll install Elementor, and this is nice because it also has a function, you'll see now, where it's going to reset the database. So if you did install a few different themes, it will actually reset everything. So it's quite a neat little function that it has built into it. So it's activating Elementor. Let's install WooCommerce. And for now, we're not going to go into all the different settings of WooCommerce. That's a video on its own that I'll make, because there's quite a lot of things that you can do within the WooCommerce. Okay, that's installed. And install Ajax. Ajax is a search facility for WooCommerce. It's just a nice, neat little function. It's not just a normal search. I'll show you now how that looks like, what that looks like. Right, let's go to the next step. Right, you want to now click on Reset Theme Options. Install the demo. And the reason why it's taking a little bit longer now is because it's installing the entire website with all the different images and everything that comes with it, and some sample products as well. So we'll just give it some time. and there we're done. So click on let's see the result. It will open up a new tab. And there we go. That's your entire website already pre-built. So this is some women's clothing and a couple of nice features that comes with it. It already has a map, and I'll show you now how to customize. Oh, yeah, another thing about some of the themes, down here in the footer, it doesn't give you the option to change the information in here. So you've always got this powered by like Futurio, for example. But in this case, Futurio does allow you to change this, and I'll show you now where to change that. But bear in mind, it's quite irritating if you go through the entire process of picking a theme and installing a theme, and you start changing things, and then right at the end you cannot get rid of this. And that's part of why we always work with pro versions. I don't like to struggle. One of the things about this theme that I don't like is the fact that it has a video inside the header. Now, although it seems like very neat, it makes your page very heavy to load. So somebody with slow internet speed might have a bit of a struggle opening up this page at first, because it needs to load the entire video. All right, so let's just look around and what does it look like. Let's go to the shop page. And it's quite neat. And it's got some categories already set up. Let's just click on any one of these products, and there we can see what it looks like. It's got a feature to zoom in, and description, related products, and there we go. So there's the different products. There's a blog page. Let's go look at what the blog page looks like on this theme that we installed, and that's even quite neat. Some recent posts. All of this is set up. I'll show you now how you can change all of this. Let's click on one of the products to see what one of the blog pages to see what it looks like. So it's got a featured image, and at the top with a name and some content for your blog, and it also has a comment section already built into the whole thing. Let's go look at your account settings. Okay, it has an account setting. Obviously you haven't purchased any products yet. You've got your orders. You haven't made any orders yet. There's some downloads. If you have products that can be downloaded from your website, such as images that you might want to sell. And this is also where somebody with an account can now change the billing and shipping address. In this case, we haven't got anything yet. Account details. This would be your clients purchasing products from your website. They can change their password here and log out, etc. It also has a button here for your shopping cart. We've got nothing in there. Let's just go back to shop. And remember, we added the the Ajax search facility. Now Ajax not only allows you to search for something. If we click on search, that's an Ajax search. So Ajax basically means if we type in, let's say, black, and we press enter, okay, it only gives us the product. I'll show you now where we can change that. Let's type in there black, because we're looking for the Ajax search bar, and although we installed it, it doesn't work properly, the Ajax. But I'll show you now where we will be able to put the Ajax in properly. So when we said add to cart, notice that you stay on the same page, but now it adds it to your button at the top there. You can click on that, view cart, and proceed to checkout and so forth. So there we go. We've got an entire e-commerce site set up literally in seconds. Now we can go back and we can start changing all these different aspects that we can see here. Right, so we can close that page. Let's go back here. That's where we were. We can close that. Right, so firstly, what we've done now, we've installed the theme, and on top of the theme, we've also installed an entire website template. So to change the various things within the website, let's go to Customizer, and you'll be using this quite a lot. So it opens up in the same page, but it looks completely different. And it's going to be quite slow now, because even in here it's going to pull that video in here, and that's what makes it a little bit heavy to work with. Alright, so it shows you the page, and then this is where you can customize quite a few things. Alright, so let's scroll down. At your own time, you can play around inside here and change some settings to see what happens on your page itself. So let's just go to site identity to start with. Site identity, you'll see there's a logo which they've uploaded, and that's the logo that features there. So down here you've also got a favicon. If you upload your favicon, that would be that little sign that's up there, and generally that would be a PNG image, not a JPEG image. Alright, so you can change a few things here. On a later stage we'll show you what a floating header is. You can change that. Let me show you quickly what that looks like. A floating header, let's publish that. Go to our website, refresh the page. Alright, so now if you scroll down, your header stays there all the time. That would be your floating header, which is quite a neat feature to have on your website. So we've just switched that on, and we do that here inside Customizer. When you play around with all the different settings, it's nice to change the setting here and then view on this side what the changes are. Right, we can just go back to the main section here and let's go to top bar, for example. We'll start at the top. Right, so the top bar would be this black bar there at the top. So on our first section, the text area 1, this is the address. So let's just quickly change the address there, and we'll call this street 1. What did I miss now? Street 1, comma, Johannesburg, comma, South Africa, and you'll see how it changes at the top straight away. And obviously the same with the number. I'm just going to put my number in there, and I'll put there 083 989 2611, and you'll see it changes there. And then down here you've got your icons. So if you click on one of the icons, this would be your Facebook, and what you'll do is you'll put in your Facebook address in there, so when somebody clicks on the Facebook button, it will take them straight to Facebook. Alright, you can close that one. So there are all the different icons that we see there. Some of them we know, some of them we don't. Number 7 is RSS feed. Okay, I don't want the RSS feed, for example. We can remove that. The next one is VK. I've got no idea what VK is, so I'm just going to remove that. And there's your Google and let's see what this one is, number 4. There's LinkedIn and so forth. You can obviously add icons as well, and there's a drop down that you can choose from. Oops. So there are various different types that you can choose from, including YouTube, etc. Right, but let's just close that, and then what you can do is you can also drag them around to change them and change the order of those ones. If you don't want them to show at all, even these ones at the top, look, we've got the address there, we can change them around. We can put the address in the middle, and we can put the icons right in the beginning. So as you drag them around, you'll see the page will refresh, and those will change around in a few seconds. Right, so we've changed the icons around. Let's say you don't want the telephone number. You can just click on the little eye there, switch it off, and the page will refresh, and that will then go away. And you can switch it back on again on a later stage. But once again, you don't have to put the telephone number in there. You'll see now it's missing. So if we click on that, and it's only a text box, so you don't have to put a telephone number in there. Let's put something else in there. And what we'll do is we'll go and say free delivery for orders above $500. Okay, so you can then put that in there. So quite a nifty way of changing things, and this is what happens within Customizer. And then whatever you change within Customizer will then reflect right throughout your entire site. So let's go to the main menu. Now the main menu, that's what we've got there. I'll show you a different place where we normally work with the menu. You can set it to the left. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference right now. And again, it's taking its time to refresh because of that video. So now we've got the menu to the left. You can also change the layout. So at this moment in time, we've got it boxed. So let's change it to full width and see what happens. All right, doesn't change a lot, but if you view the page, publish, and then refresh, you might see it looking slightly different. You see now everything moves to a much wider screen. All right, let's go back to there. There's some settings that you can change. The spacing, at the moment it's got this is quite high, so you can take the bottom and you can make it, let's say 15, so a little bit smaller, and then the top we can also go 15, and it's just a little bit neater if it's a little bit smaller. Right, so there's quite a few settings that you can change. We're still inside the header, and if you don't like the blue, you can change the blue background to, let's make it like an orange. Now you'll see there it changes the orange. There should be a hover somewhere as well, because look at the button, when you hover it, it goes blue, and now it's a matter of finding where is the hover button. Now it might be that there's the hover effect, button color on hover, which is blue. Now we can go and change that to, let's say, somewhere green. So now if you hover over it, it's green. So this is where you can change some of the settings. Now there are settings that are not available in here because it's part of the Pro version. So once you've called our technical staff and you said, I'm using Futurio, we will activate the Pro version, and you will have even more settings that you will be able to change within Customizer. Let's just publish that. And then go back. Alright, sidebars. Where do we find the sidebar? Let's just quickly go here. If you go to your shop page or your blog page, there are two different right bars or sidebars. This is what we call a sidebar, and you can change all the different elements within the sidebar. Some of them you can change from within Customizer, but there's a different place that you in WordPress where you can also change them. So at this moment it's a right sidebar. If you want to make it a left sidebar, click on Publish and then refresh the page, and now suddenly your sidebar is on the left. And it really depends on what you want your website to look like. The nice thing about installing a template like this is everything's built, so you just kindly changes everything to suit your business and the colors, etc., the way you want it. And that's a nice way of working with WordPress. Everything is already built. So we'll change that back to right and we'll publish. Alright, there are some global, there we go, there's the copyright features. Let's click on copyright. Now at the moment, if you go down to the bottom of the page, this is the copyright stuff there. So let's change that to something nice. So you just have to read there, but the standard way of doing it is to put copyright. Oops, what did I press wrong now? Copyright, and then you want to put the signs in there. Alright, so it's percentage mark copy percentage mark, and that's going to give you that funny copyright sign. And then you the general way of doing this is then to put the date, which is 2020, but we want this to change every year, so we can put this field in there. So again, we put exclamation mark current underscore year and do it like that, and then you'll put your website name, which is in this place. Hello WordPress, and let's publish that, and then we'll refresh the page and we'll see what happens here at the bottom. Alright, so there we go. We've taken that other stuff out, we've put our own stuff in there. You can obviously, if you know a little bit about code, you can actually put in code by going into text, and this would be an HTML code where you can actually put a link to let's say our site, where you can let's do that. Let's say we'll say powered by Go Peter Hosting, and then what you'll do is you want to take the Go Peter Hosting and make it a link. Right, so it comes up like this. You want to open this link in a new page because you don't want people to go move away from your website when they want to open up a different website. So that would be a standard practice. The URL, which in this case will be https://gopeter.co.za. So this is what you will be reading, Go Peter Hosting, but the link will be an actual website. So add link. Right, so now it shows a whole different code there, not to worry about that. Just press publish. Now it looks like a lot of new information to you, but you'll get the hang of it as time goes by. Right, so let's just refresh this page quickly. Now this would be right throughout your website. Look at that. So we've got copyright powered by GoPeter Hosting. If you click on that, it will open up a new tab taking you to the GoPeter online website. Right, let's close that. Let's go back, and we've done the copyright. Right, so in here you can also change the colors and typography. So let's go down to the footer. Okay, footer widgets, and this is where you sometimes need to play around with, because you might not find what you're looking for in the free version. Let's see if we can change that. We want to change the font. Let's change that to 10 and see if it changes at the bottom. So it doesn't change there. Let's change this one. And even though we don't see it, let's just refresh it to see if it does appear on the website. Alright, so the size doesn't change, and it's obviously that would now be part of the Pro version to customize the size of this. Alright, but you can change everything in your content. At the moment, all the content like this is all 15 pixel. Let's make that a little bit smaller. We'll go 14 pixel, and you've already seen it moving slightly. Let's just make that 12, and notice on the center of the screen here how it changes. So we make it 12 and it changes in size. Right, 12 is a little bit small in pixels, and we'll make it 14, which is a nice readable size. Publish. And let's say, for example, once you've finished your entire website, notice that you've got your tablet and you've also got your phone settings. So on a desktop you might want it to be 14, and let's say you want to make this responsive on a cell phone. On a cell phone you can, for example, make it 15 because you want it to be a little bit bigger, and then publish. Alright, so down here at the bottom you can actually change this view to cell phone. So it will have two different settings. So there it shows you what this website will look like on a cell phone, and the size will be different on the cell phone than on the desktop itself, and you can set the different settings depending on the device. So let's just go back to view the desktop view. Alright, heading and title. Okay, one important thing that you need to understand. Okay, these are just titles. Let's say we go to, I'll show you what that is. If we go to shop, for example, there's a shop. It says shop, then it will tell you what the name of the page is on each one of the pages. Now if I want to change that size, then that would be what I'll be changing here. So it's on 28 pixel. Let's make that 22. Publish it. And look at the size there, and then refresh the size, and it will be slightly smaller now at 22 pixels. So yeah, there are various settings that you can change. You can change the colors, etc. Let's go back. The thing with the with this website is, with a free version, you cannot change the colors the way you want, and that's what we would be teaching you how to do when we work with in Elementor. But here you've got preset colors, so let's change the color setting. Here it was white and blue, now we'll go for a little bit like red. So let's just refresh the page. Now everything changes to red. You see that? So quite nifty. But the color scheme that you're looking for might not be there. I don't like this black section, but let me just show you what it looks like. And refresh the page. Now look at that. So even though this could look very nice on a website, you'll notice that it's in a block. So there's a background white coming through, and I would like to change that. So let's see where can we change that. But again, now you're going to need a different logo, because now your logo disappears on this dark background. But let's go to back again, and what we're looking for is probably, I think it's under the global options. It doesn't give us the option here, because I want to make that a little bit bigger. So I think it might be under, where would that be? Colors and typography. It won't be there under post and pages. No. Custom code, site identity, it won't be under site identity, because that's just the logo sizes. Alright, so it's about playing around to find where all the different settings are. Let's see what's under global settings. Widgets, dynamic file, inline. Alright, I don't know where to find that specific setting now, because I don't work on this website every day. Alright, but anyway, there are loads and loads of settings that you can change here, but I would recommend that you that we activate the Pro version first before you start playing around here, because it will just give you a lot of settings. Because like this setting I'm looking for now, to change this block and change the color on the side here as well, and make it full screen. I don't seem to be able to find that, and I think that setting might lie in the Pro version. And this is the type of thing that you're going to find all the time when you're working with these free WordPress themes, and that's why we include the Pro version. Right, so let's just go out of the customizer completely, and then we'll go back to our WordPress console. Alright, so it's about playing around with the settings in under customizer, which lies under appearance. Alright, so let's quickly go down to menu. Even though you can change this inside of customizer, it's much easier to work with it here. So there's your menu. You can create different menus, and you can also, on a later stage, let them appear on different areas. So we've got a main menu. That would be this menu here. Right, so notice under shop you've got two drop downs. There they are, shop and two drop downs. You can actually drag them. You'll have to drag one there first, and then, oops, it doesn't allow me to do that. Okay, there we go. So now it's not offset, so if it's not offset, it will actually lie next to each other. So let's click on save menu, and then refresh the page, and now it all lies next to each other. And there we, under products, we've got some drop downs there again, and you'll see that's where they are there. So let's just take this, put it back there, and simply drag and drop. So if you want to change something around, let's say you want to put your account there next to the shop, you can change that around, have your block last, go up, save. Alright, so let's refresh the page, and now we've turned the account page around and the block is lost. I don't like this black, so let's just quickly go and change that again. We'll go to customizer, and we found that under colors and typography, it was under the color presets. We'll change that, let's make it the red. Publish that, go back, and I just saw something. There's the content. This might be where I was looking for that other setting. Yeah, you see it's in the pro version where I could change this background color, but alright, we've changed it back to the white and the red scheme. So let's refresh the page, and it goes back to the white with the red. Now remember, this is now a different color. We can go and change this to red so that it fits the rest of your website and it all looks the same, as well as the different colors here. You can go and change the headings any color you like. Right, go, oops, publish. Let's go out of customizer. So customizer is something that you'll be working with quite a lot. Right, so we'll be back here in the menu. There are different things that you can add to your menu. When you create new pages, you'll find them here under most recent or view all pages, and then you can add a page to your menu or delete the page as you like. If you want the link to open in a new page, then simply click on this. Now it doesn't give you the option there, and these are the small things that you will learn about WordPress as you go along. There's so many different settings, and they're sometimes hidden in the most funniest places. So up here we'll have screen options, and what we're looking for is the link target. We want to click on that and then close screen options. Now if we click on, just close this, close, open that again, now it gives you the link option and it says open link in a new tab, and then save your menu. Alright, so if you refresh your page, then I think the account page should then open in a new tab. There we go. Alright, so what we've learned so far is we've got themes, we've dealt with that now, and we've dealt with customizer, and we had a brief look at menus. Alright, then we've got what we call widgets. Let's go to widgets. Now widgets, this is your sidebar. There are different bars. There's a WooCommerce sidebar, and there's your normal sidebar. You'll see there are footer sections. There's nothing in it because it's not activated or used within this website. Later on you will learn how to add these different widgets to different parts of your website. For now you've only got a sidebar as well as a WooCommerce sidebar. So let's quickly look at that. In here we've got, let's just quickly go to the shop page. What have we got here? We've got a cart section here where you can view your cart, but remember you've also got it up there, and I think it's a waste to have both of them up there. So let's take the one out. So the cart, click on that, go delete, and it saves it automatically. This is the only part where you don't have a save button. It's under widgets. The rest of WordPress, you always have to save everything. I don't know why they don't have a save facility here, but anyway, let's refresh the page and you'll see the cart will now go away. There we go, gone, and you've only got products. So why would you want products there if you've got products here? It's really up to you. I'm going to change that, and I would like the product categories to be on top. But hold on, there we've also got a product filter by price. Let's leave that at the top. Now that doesn't reflect at the moment on the website because because you don't have too many products with different prices on you. You should be able to have a bar up here that can move around so you can filter your products by price. It's activated. I don't know why it's not showing. Alright, but anyway, we've got categories. Let's say we want to move the products. You can change some settings, delete. I don't want that. I don't want the search in there, delete that. Recently viewed products, we can leave that. Let's see what it looks like now. And I'm only doing this to show you how you can customize your website in various forms. And you don't have to go and build this whole website. Everything's already built for you, and this is what makes it so nice to work with some of the themes if you know which ones to choose. Alright, so that's basically what you can do there. We want to have an Ajax search bar. Let's put Ajax search bar in there as well. And let's see what that looks like now. Right, there's an Ajax search bar. So let's click on one of the product names. We call that black. And this is now what the Ajax search bar does. Once you put it in there, it automatically brings the product into the search without a new page opening up. Now there are some settings that you can do. We'll go to the settings just now, how we can add the buttons and everything in here. Let's do that quickly. Okay, we're basically done with widgets. This is all the widgets. Now let's find the Ajax search bar, and there's a whole, there it is. Let's click on that, and there's the settings for the Ajax search bar. So page cannot be found, don't know why. Ajax search for WooCommerce is hidden. Why is it hidden? No idea. Might be under WooCommerce. Let's see if the settings may have moved there. Okay, there we go. You don't want to install any of this advertising stuff, so you just skip all of that because we're opening it now for the first time. Right, so there's your Ajax. Remember we installed the plugin with the theme, so this is the settings for the Ajax search. So here's the nice thing. Let's have a look at this. You would like to search within the description and the short description and save. Okay, and then autocomplete. Let's see what we've got. 7 products. Show the product image. So there's your preview. Show the product image, yes. Show the price. And show categories. I don't want the categories in there. I only want the products that the person searched for, and it will show 7 different products and the price. And we need to also add the buy now button. So Let's just save that. I think the button is in a different setting. Starting, we don't want that. Search bar. Show the submit button. No, that's the submit button in the search bar. That's not what we're looking for. Autocomplete. I don't know where that is. There's normally a button that you can add to cart, but I think that only applies with the Pro version. But in Elementor it does work. So in Elementor you can actually set it up within Elementor Pro so that it's got a buy button there as well. So let's just save that. And we refresh the page, and let's just put in there black again. Alright, so there's only one product on this website with the word black in it. Alright, so now if you click on it, it will probably just take you to the product itself. Okay, and then you can add to cart. We've already got a product in the cart there. Alright, so there's quite a few settings that you can change. Let's go to WooCommerce quickly. There we go, WooCommerce settings. Like I said, I'm not going to go into all the settings for WooCommerce because it can get quite extensive. Your country would probably be South Africa. Click on that. Oh, come on. It's because it's still busy loading the page. So let's just put in there South Africa, and let's say you are in Gauteng, and what you want to do here is also you want to change the currency to South African Rand. Let's just undo that. Click and type in there South African Rand. There we go. Save changes. And once it's saved, let's refresh the page. Continue. Okay, we want to actually go to shop now. And now you'll see all the prices have changed to South African Rand. Alright. Alright, so that would be under WooCommerce. There are several settings. Like I said, I'm not going to go into all of that now. Alright, so what have we done so far? We've looked at appearance. We've done themes and customizer for the themes. Okay. We're not interested in that right now. It's just showing you all the different settings that are available in WooCommerce. Okay, back to this. Themes we did, appearance, we looked at widgets, we looked at menus, and the rest aren't that important right now. Let's take a quick look at plugins. What is a plugin? Where themes was focused around the look and the feel of your website, plugins are actually things that does something on your site. So when you install WordPress, it comes with this anti-spam. It's a lot of nonsense, so just delete that. And this Hello Dolly, I still don't know what that actually does. It comes with it, so just delete it. So what have we got here? We've got the Ajax search that came with WooCommerce. We've got Duplicator, which I installed when I made the video to show you how to make a backup of your site. You can look on my website or the YouTube channel for more information on how to make a backup and restore a backup with Duplicator. We've got Elementor. We'll cover that just now. We've got Futurio Extras. That's how you installed your demos. And then we've got WooCommerce, which is your e-commerce shopping. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're quickly going to add a plugin. So add new, and in here you'll find there's about 45,000 different plugins that you can download, and you can just about do a search for anything and it will come up. So let's just think of a plugin that I want to add quickly. Let's search for security. Aha. And there we go. That's WordFence. WordFence, you'll see there's about 3 million active installs. We are going to install WordPress, but not right now. We normally only switch our security on once we have completed the entire site, because sometimes it creates a little bit of conflict. But let's go play around for a moment quickly. And let's type in WooCommerce. WooCommerce. And this is where it gets nice, because you can play around. You can install and uninstall various plugins. There's a nice plugin for Facebook. So if you and it's been updated in the last 4 hours, there's over 800 active installs. So this means that this is quite a good plugin. I wouldn't go and install a plugin. If you go, the more you go down, seems like there's a lot of, they're all 10,000, 90,000, 20,000. Sometimes you'll find plugins that's like 10 installs, and I'll be very careful before I just install that. So we would like to go for something that has a lot of installs, active installs. Just for interest's sake, this would allow products, as you post products on your WooCommerce site, on the website, it automatically then posts that product onto Facebook, and then a person would be able to see the product on Facebook, and then from Facebook direct back to your website to buy the product. So it's like an online shop inside Facebook that you can set up with this plugin, which is quite a nifty plugin to have. WooCommerce we've already installed. Let's see. This is also a nice plugin to have if you don't want your clients to only view their invoices on your website. This plugin will actually send a PDF invoice to their email address. So it's a nice little nifty little thing. It has very little settings, so we can add that to our site. Install the plugin. Then activate the plugin. And what you'll see now is, you might not find it on the side here somewhere, but under WooCommerce you will now have PDF invoices. That's the plugin that you just installed. And let's go and look at what it is. So and it comes up with all sorts of advertising things here all the time that you really want to skip. But because we've just installed the PDF invoices, it seems to have a setup wizard. So let's click the setup wizard for that, and it asks us a few questions. All right, I'm not going to go through all of this because it's just going to ask you for your logo, and it's going to ask you for your physical address, maybe your VAT number, and everything that needs to appear on the invoices. So we're just going to skip this step. Skip. Finished. It'll take you back to WordPress. All right, so that's now set up. But any of those settings, you can go and change it in here again. It's a matter of reading through things to figure out how it works. And often some of the plugins are so complicated that you don't really know what to do when you're installing it, and I'm going to make a lot of videos on various really nifty plugins and to show you exactly how to install and how to set up some of these plugins, such as WooCommerce, which has a lot of settings that you need to know of. So we'll make videos, and if you do come across a plugin and you're not that sure, you can always contact our technical support guys, and we'll see if we can help you with that. Alternatively, go on to YouTube and Google and search for the specific plugin, and there's always tons of information available on any one of those plugins. Right, let's go back to plugins again, and we'll click on add new. Alright, so let's go see what other WooCommerce plugins we've got. So I'm purely zooming in on WooCommerce now, because it's going to show you, it shows you how WordPress works at the end of the day. So there are all these functions that you can put in. There's mailchimp, which is a newsletter plugin. Mailchimp is something that we recommend you do, but you'll have to go and set up a Mailchimp account first. I'll make specific videos just on how to do that, because that can get extremely complicated. And but we won't do that via WooCommerce. We'll do Mailchimp via Elementor. Okay, so let's scroll down and see if there's something nice that we can install. Oh, there we go. This is something I use quite often, is the products tab. Let me show you what that looks like. So if you click on a product, it gives you the description there, and it gives you a description there, but it only gives you two tabs, the description and the review. So let's say you would like some more tabs here, and you would like to have a description, and maybe you're selling some products with some ingredients, so you would like to have reviews, and you want the ingredients or technical specifications, etc. Then you can use this plugin, and that will give you additional product tabs. So that's what WordPress is all about. You can go through here, and there are literally, like I said, 45,000 different plugins that you can install for WordPress. And that's how we build different WordPress websites. So some of these are free, and some of them has a free section, and then it requires that you use the paid version. We use Elementor, and because we use Elementor, you can do a lot of these functions can be done inside Elementor, so you don't really need to install plugins for that. So let's go to Elementor and look at what we can do with Elementor. So always go to settings first, and we want to apply Elementor to products, posts, and pages. Now sometimes if you add plugins, it actually adds more information here that you can change with Elementor. At this stage, by default, it is set, these two boxes are ticked, which means it's now going to pick up on your page builder, it's going to pick up the theme settings, which we've done here under appearance and customizer. So if you want to change anything on a page, you can do it via customizer. Once we get into how to develop a header and a footer and all these things with Elementor, we will uncheck this, because Elementor has a built-in function where it actually has a customizer built into Elementor, whereby you can control your whole site, which is far more effective than this guy's customizer here. Most of your guys working with free plugins, etc., they work with this, but in Elementor Pro we go a much more professional way. Right, within Elementor here, there's no real settings that you need to worry about now. Let's go to pages, because we want to create some more pages. So I'll show you how to do that. This shows you all the current pages. Some of these pages were created when we installed WooCommerce, like the cart, checkout, and the account page. Oh, and the shop page was created by by WooCommerce when we installed it. To create a new page, very simple, add new. Give the page a title. In this case, we are going to call it, let's call it the Contact Us page. And all you do is click on Publish. And Publish. Alright, there are some settings here. For example, sidebar. So in Customizer, if you have sidebar set up on your entire site, it will pick that up. On the contact page, you don't want a sidebar, so you might want to tick this section here. And yeah, display. If you want the title, let's say we don't want the title, and we don't want the featured image. The rest we can leave. These are all, once again, settings that you can play with as you go along. Just click that, update the page. Right, let's just go back to WordPress. Okay, because we just created a page called Contact Us, and now you'll find it's in here. There we go, contact page. From here you can edit it with Elementor, which we're going to do just now. But there's something that I want to add here. I would like to, if I build a page, I would like to be able to duplicate that page. So we can find let's see if we can find a plugin for that. Add new. And let's say we call this duplicate page. Right, so there are quite a few of them. Obviously, the very first one has got over 1 million active installs. And what's important to notice is how often does it get updated. So you'll see normally the top ones are generally updated 3 weeks, 2 months, 2 months, which is all still fine. But as you scroll down, you might find some of them are these are all quite popular, but sometimes you'll find some of them that hasn't been updated for more than a year. There's one for over 5 months, and that often creates a bit of problems because WordPress has updates, and as WordPress updates itself, these plugins need to also update with WordPress, and that's why you'll find lately we've had a big update on WordPress to WordPress 5.5. So most of these plugins are quite recently updated to fit in with 5.5. Right, this is a very popular one. If you want to know more about it, right click on more details, open in a new tab. And it'll give you a description. You'll use this quite a lot. Gives you a description. This is where you will find out what you can do in the free version versus the pro version. Now I know this plugin and we are going to install it because I am familiar with it, because the only thing I really want to do, I just want to duplicate a post or a page. Alright, it shows you how to install it. Simple. Activate the plugin, screenshots. You can learn a little bit more about the plugin before you install it, and most important, like I said before, is look at the period that when's the last time that it was updated, and the active installations. You'll also see a 5-star rating. It counts for a lot, so this is quite a good plugin if it's got a big a 5-star rating there. And then what you need to look at is the reviews. So especially if it's a plugin that you don't know, then always go and read the reviews. So there might be 10 reviews, but I can guarantee you that if you've got 3 or 4 guys with a negative review, then I would skip the plugin, unless it's a review that's like 5 years old, and in the meanwhile they've updated the theme, they've sorted out a few bugs, and then the latest reviews, the guys are very happy about the plugin, then I would give it a go. But if the reviews aren't good, then I would not install the plugin. And these reviews are quite accurate. Alright, so let's go back. Alright, we're going to install this one. I'm going to activate. Then let's go back to pages. And under contact, now you've got a new field here that says duplicate this page. So very easy, we can duplicate the page. Especially if you do a lot of work on it and you don't want to redo everything. So there we go. Now it's as a draft, so the page is not published yet. So from here you can actually use the quick edit, which I use a lot. So we can just change it now because we've got a contact us page, and we're going to call this the About Us page. And right underneath it is a slug. Now a slug is the entire address that you see, all of that, everything you see there, that would be the slug, or at least that's that last part. That's the slug. But you don't have to fill it in here. Once you press update, it will create the slug according to the name. You can also have a different page title with that's not the same as the slug itself. Okay, so this is currently a draft. We're going to make it published, and we're going to update. Right, so now we've got contact and we've got the About Us. Let's just click on quick edit again, and you'll see there we've got your slug. All right, so we cancel that. Now showing you how to duplicate a page. But these 2 pages that you've created, they're not visible on your website yet because it's not in the menu. So we've already learned how to do that. Let's go to Appearance. We'll go to Menus. Remember, I've been working with this for years, so I know exactly where all the different buttons are, and the more you play around with it, the more familiar you will become with where are the different buttons. So, and the best way of learning is to play around with things. All right, so we go to Menu, and remember, there's all the different ones. Now we want to add the About Us page and a Contact Us page. So add to menu. It will throw them here at the bottom. Let's drag them maybe just above the blog. Drag them in there. Save the menu. And refresh the page. Okay. And now we've got the About Us and the contact page. Now if you click on them, they're obviously empty because we haven't created anything inside of them. So there's a contact page. You know what? The theme came with a contact or About Us page. There's the contact page we created. There's nothing in it. That About page is a page that came with the theme itself. So let's just quickly go back to pages and see what happened there now. Alright, so we've got an About Us page, and we've got a contact and a Contact Us page. That's what we did wrong. So the About Us page the About Us page has information on there. And then let's just look at these. You can view them from here. Right click, open in a new tab. We'll see which one is which one. Okay, that's actually the contact page that we duplicated. Okay, all right. So we would like to keep that one. We don't really need this one, and we can just trash this one. Okay, so there it is in the trash. If you want to bring it back, you can always restore it from here, or you can just empty trash. In this case, we will just empty the trash completely. We go all pages again. Alright, so let's just refresh this, because one of those buttons will be missing now because we deleted the page. So now we need to go back to appearance. We'll go, back to menus. And now we have the About Us page. Now we want to take the Contact Us page, and we like to add that to the menu. I hope you're still following me on this. Drag and drop it where you want it, and press Save Menu. Once saved, you'll see it. There we go. Refresh the page, and now there we go. Now we've got two pages that looks exactly the same because we duplicated the Contact Us page. All right. So let's go to the About Us page. Back to pages again. And we want to go to the About Us page, and this time we want to edit it with Elementor. So you can just click on it, or you can right click, open in a new tab. I like to do it like that because I can still work in WordPress here if I need to, as well as in Elementor at the same time. This is just a notification because we're using it for the first time, not to worry about that. Alright, so now we're moving into Elementor. It takes a little while to load. And inside Elementor, you can now customize this page, and you can do just about anything in it. Again, we offer you the Pro version with a lot more functions. But to show you what it works like, these are all widgets, which is a function. So let's say we want to change something here. I would like to add a heading on top of this. Let's drag it and drop it where I want it. And then in here I can click here, let's say our contact details. Alright. Now what you'll notice is that the fonts are different. So you can change the size here. Let's make that large. Make that extra large. Oops, that's a little bit too big. Can extra large. That's fine, but it's still a little bit too big. Not to worry. You want to leave it an H2 tag. We'll teach you on a later stage with SEO stuff what does H1 and H2 mean. But basically, the first thing in your website, that would be your H1, and that's how Google reads it. Because under heading 1, you'll have heading 2. Under that, you'll have heading 3s. Under that, heading 4s, and so forth. And that is what the H1 to H6 means, and that's how Google reads your page. Right, you can also add a link to the heading if you want your heading to link to something, or you can go to Style at the top. Click on Style for this heading, and we can change the color. In this case, we would like to have it red. And the typography, and it also has global settings, but we're not going to show you that now. I'll have a complete video on Elementor Pro. We will go into more detail about the global settings. The typography, there we go. We want to change the font family. Now there are hundreds of different fonts. So how do we know which font it is that we want to use? It looks like these ones. Very simple. Just click on that one and click on style, click on typography. So that family is called Prata. Alright, so we click on the red one again and we go to typography, click on family, we call that Prata. Prata, there we go. And now we've got the same font. But even though we changed the size there, it's still too big. So let's change it a little bit more. Alright, contact details, I think, oops, about there should look fine. Let's change the weight. If we make it 200, it's very skinny. You can make it 800, little bold, 900, or 500. 500 looks more or less the same than these ones. You can always go back and see what the font weight is on those and make it the same. Also, we can make it uppercase. There we go. Right, and we can update. But another nice little thing that you can do is you can always go onto this one and you go copy and then right click and paste the style. So there we go. Now it's exactly the same style than that one and you can publish. Right, so what else can we do here? This is called a block. We can add a new block there and we can add single column, 2 column, 3 column, and so forth. Let's add a 2 column, and it's just to show you what we can do with the widgets. Go back to this little button there. That's all your different widgets. So let's say you want to add an image. You can simply drag an image there, and then when you click there, right, then you are inside your media library with all the current files that exist within your media file. You can pick one of them and insert media. Right, if it's too big, you can drag the column to make it slightly smaller, or you can just go to style and you can change the width of that image within the column. If you want to change it, you can just go back to the content section. Now it all seems like a lot of buttons are pressing here, but once you start playing, you'll get familiar with it quite quickly. It's very easy to learn. All right, from here you can always upload new files, or you can simply just from your computer drag and drop the file inside here and then add it to your media. Right, let's go back to widgets. You can add a video, you can link it to your YouTube video. There are spaces, there are buttons, icons. There's an endless list of, you can add a form, a gallery, and sliders and everything that you would normally. But now the problem is, look at these forms and sliders. They are all part of the Pro version. But once again, if you are if you've taken one of the developers hosting packages with us, then obviously these will all be included, and you'll be able to put price tables in, and testimonials, media carousels, share buttons, and the list goes on and on and on and on of what you can add into this. So there's a lot more that comes with the Pro version that's not inside the free version. But Even in the free version, there's quite a few things that you can do. But enough said about Elementor Pro for now. I'm going to make quite a few videos on Elementor Pro to show you how to customize your pages with Elementor, and how to create dynamic content, parallax effects, things moving around on your website, and all of that can be done within Elementor. Right, let's just update, and you see there's a little box eye there. Click on that, it'll open a new tab, you'll view the page, and there's the image that we've put in and the contact details that we've changed. Like I said, I'm not going to get into all the detail on that now. That is something we will do on a later stage. Right, close that, close Elementor. We go back to our WordPress console. Alright, so there are a few settings that I've covered now. I'm not going to go into all the settings now. I think we've done enough for today. What we've done basically is we installed a theme, we installed a demo, which is a complete e-commerce website, and it's quite a pretty site which you can now learn how to customize inside Customizer. I've shown you where to change the menus and the widgets that are under the shop or the block page, and we've quickly looked at creating pages and how to edit a page with Elementor for changing the layout of your page. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. Please look out for additional videos on our website where we're going to show you how to start building proper professional websites from scratch. This is a demo template site. Spares you a lot of work to create all of this. This is good for beginners, but if you want to have special stuff, it's a good thing to learn how to do that from scratch, and we will cover that in one of our next videos.